Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd.
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd.
My name is Greg Coffin. I'm the music director of Sweeney Todd here at the Denver Center. I'm the guy who oversees all of the music happening. So we figure out how we're going to teach the show to the actors. We figure out, what we're using of the orchestration. We figure out in this instance how we're helping Devotchka to see how they're going to put their mark on Mr. Sondheim's work and on Mr. Tunick's orchestrations for that work, and then implementing it over at the theater. We're taking what was already a breathtakingly beautiful orchestration of an amazing musical and asking Devotchka to say, how are you going to make it your own? What's the edge that you're going to bring to us? Yeah, the lyrics are "Worst ties in London, we're out, railroad track at 73, and then we start the roll on the word sir. So they were given the original orchestrations, and they were given blank stabs by me to figure out how they were going to pick and choose what worked in the Tunick score and how they could emulate who they were as Devotchka, as musicians, occurring with this score, and place all of those themes and all of those ideas all about the score for a pit of 9. They are multi-instrumentalists, all of them. They play many different instruments, and the idea of being able to incorporate that into a Sondheim score is a really exciting and challenging idea.
He served a dark and a vengeful God.
He served a dark and a vengeful God.
What happened then? Well, that's the play, and he wouldn't want us to give it away.
Hi, I'm Kevin Copenhaver. I'm the costume designer for Sweeney Todd. I'm also the costume crafts director here at the Denver Center for the Performing Arts Theater. I'm working on some trick stuff. This is the Beetle Bamford's jabot, which is basically like a tie, a scarf period thing. And this is his barber cape after he's been dispatched by Sweeney Todd. It's a gelatin blood, which I heat up in the microwave and then sort of paint and drip on, and it dries and stays wet looking. I'm very fond of Mrs. Lovett's clothes. In the first act, she's sort of down and out, without means. Her clothes are shabby and worn and in not good shape. And then after she and Sweeney sort of saddle up together and start the business, she's sort of nouveau riche. And then I also love Joanna's green finch and linnet bird dress. It's a corseted dress, but there's also a very romantic look to it. And it's yards and yards of embroidered silk. It's beautiful, but it's also kind of silly. It's a huge show, and it's very intricate. We have our principal actors, but then we have an ensemble of actors that essentially need to be different characters almost every time we see them. So that adds big numbers to the amounts of costumes that I have to come up with. It's a lot of work, but it's been exhilarating.
How is it you sing?
Hi, how are you? I'm Eric Rouse. I'm the technical director for the Denver Center Performing Arts, the theater company. Right now we're looking at the set for Sweeney Todd. The set is very complex. It's a much bigger set than we usually do here in this theater. There's lots of levels, there's lots of moving pieces to it. I think what we'll do is maybe take a walk around and check some of it out. So this is what we call a theatrical winch. This winch is made up of several components. There's a motor, and then that motor is attached to this drum, which you can see is moving right now. And that drum is attached to aircraft cable, which is very high-strength steel cable, which is moving the pie shop. The pie shop weighs around, we figure, about 3,500 pounds, so it's a very large device. It's connected to a computer, which we'll show you here in just a second. So this is Matthew Wagner. He's our head carpenter here in the theater. And right now he's running automation cues that tell that winch we just saw where to move the wagon. You can see off stage the wagon is currently moving, and it's going to go to a very specific position that we have inputted into this computer. It will send it to where we want it and at what speed we want it. And when you have items like these moving on stage, it's pretty critical that everything moves in exactly the same way every time, because we have actors around it, there's safety concerns, and also it interacts with other items. So we always want to make sure it goes to the same place every single time. So we have 5 steam whistles on this show, and they're not real steam whistles, they're fake steam whistles. So what we've done to accomplish the steam effect is use these CO2 cannons. That is also controlled from our automation system. So right now we're looking in the trap room of the stage theater for Sweeney Todd, and what we're looking at is the lift that goes up and down and brings actors and stuff on stage. We have a trap door, which is run on pneumatics, and there's a stagehand who runs a little control system that makes that door open and close. Once the door is open, there's a hydraulic system that we use really big hydraulic rams for to move this platform up and down. So basically we make part of the floor go away and then we raise up a floor to basically fill in that place. So there you go. That's just a little sample of what we've got going on stage. There's a few other tricks that I'm not going to talk about that hopefully you can watch during the show. Enjoy the performance.
We'll take the customers that we can get.
High born and low, my love.
We'll not discriminate great from small. No, we'll serve anyone.
We'll serve anyone
And to anyone at all.